I got a good one for you today. It's a lesson about self love, at least for me. Hopefully, you can apply it to yourself. Obviously, I know every single experience and every single thing that's ever happened to me. I carry them with me everywhere I go. They're kind of like this awesome little companion. And so I've gotten used to carrying that. And I know everything that I've ever done and all of these things. But I mistakenly also assumed that every single person I interact with, at least subconsciously, kind of knew that or could see it somehow in me. And that's obviously not true. So, why does this relate to self love? Um, I guess it comes down to this notion that as much as I know who inherently I am, like the deepest core of myself, I know, right? And that's why I learned to love myself and all of those things. But I carried with me all of those experiences, but they aren't who I am currently. And so all of that negative things, all of those negative things and experiences and positive experiences too, but all of those parts of self that created the current evolved version of myself or evolving version of myself. Um, i thought that those things were with me all the time, but those experiences aren't in the present. And so I believed inherently that when I was interacting with other people that they could in effect see it. So I was, this is the crux of this thing, is I was thinking that they were seeing me through my eyes or my perspective and not their own. And why do I do that? Because I was also carrying with me all of those things from my past and believing that they somehow impacted my present. I know this is very complicated or it's very simple, I'm not sure. But in effect, I wasn't seeing myself for who I am. I was seeing myself for who I am and who I was. And who I was and who I used to be, and growing up from childhood to adulthood and everything that's happened, since then, those are just things that shaped me, but they aren't me right now. And people who are interacting with me don't see those things. And so why is it that this next piece was all of a sudden changing that thought to not seeing me, not thinking that they were seeing me from my perspective, but from their own, as well as me only seeing me from the current perspective, has allowed me to flourish in a new and magical way. Why? Because now, when it used to be, when someone would pay me a compliment, I would almost negate the compliment because I would be like, oh, it's always tempered with other things and always tempered with some negative that only I was putting into the compliment. And it wasn't coming from them, it was coming from me. So I was minimizing their compliment. I was making their compliment or the thing that they said to me less valid and less valued by me because I was ruining their compliment. So, case in point, Madison would say, "Oh, you're so pretty," and I would be like, "Oh, she means like for an old person or something like that," or like I would always like devalue the things that she was saying to me because I was sullying my own impression of myself. And that's such a unnecessary thing to do. When she was paying me the compliment, she wasn't thinking in some negative way. And I feel like I kind of let that go now. So I'm kind of in this cool place now where I can let go of my own judgment as much as I can finally allow myself to see me as I am, and as well as respect the experiences that I had to get me here, because those experiences allowed me to be the current person I am. I know that's a very crazy way of saying to love yourself, but I was finally able to love myself for who I have become and love myself for the things that I am now, and still at the same time love the experiences that got me here because of how valuable they were in getting me to this place. And as an added bonus, now when she says, or somebody says, "Oh, you look so pretty," or "You look so fit," or whatever it is that they say, and they say a nice thing, I can finally hear it for how they intended for it to be meant, and not sullied by my own very harsh way of judging myself. And now I can finally maybe not judge myself as harshly and maybe now love myself a little bit more. And that is really beautiful for me, I gotta tell you. Finally, feeling myself and seeing myself not only through my eyes, but also through the eyes of others. And that is a really beautiful and special thing. And so before I cry, I got to tell you, I love this experience. And this experience of becoming my truest self has been nothing less than magical to watch and to participate in and experience as myself. So, with that said, I love you guys, and talk to you soon. Bye.